Well, if you have a student loan, boy, you're going to have to start paying again. And then if you have it back payments you have, they're going to start coming after you. So I have a little video at the end of this introduction that I have to tell you what to do and the sources that are free to help you figure that out, and the forgiveness programs and how to find that. But first, I want to tell you about how to download a free report that shows you 14 other forgiveness programs that the government has for a lot of your debt. And actually, first of all, what you want to do before you do anything is talk to a free financial counselor. And what you do to find that is go to hud.gov/counseling. hud.gov/counseling. And you'll see a map of the United States. You click on your state and make an appointment. They're all free, and you can make an appointment with 3 or 4 of them if you want until you get the answer you want. Okay, so that's what you do. Now what you want to also do is download this report. If you go to tinyurl.com/Let's Go Forgiveness, tinyurl.com/Let's Go Forgiveness. What you'll have is the description of 14 ways the government will forgive your student, your personal, your business loans, your medical bills, child support, and even back rent. Okay, let me go through. Okay, the first one here. Now, don't forget, you got to download this, and it costs you nothing. I don't even ask for your email address. Nothing. I want you to have these because these are tools how to live in society today. You have to understand the government represents, like almost 30-40% of everything in our economy. So you have to learn how to use this, because the government is where you get free money and help. Google makes you pay for stuff. The government and nonprofits, they give you money. And that's 40% of everything in the economy is giving away free money. So I want you to know about it. Okay, the first one there is about student loans. Okay? And you stay to watch the little video at the end of this for that. It's only like a minute, so don't worry about it. Then you can get student forgiveness of loans to buy a business or start a business. Here's an example. Okay, the city of Madison, Wisconsin, right? They're giving $250,000 for you to start a business there if you stayed there like 15 years and no payments, 0 interest. Wow, this is crazy. Okay, and then I have websites there of how to find programs like this where you live. There's one, the local assistance program, and the second one is EDA. So you have to go to those websites, find those organizations where you live, and call them and ask for the kinds of things they have. Okay, here's another one. Get $50,000 rent grant if you've been turned down and get help writing an appeal. In other words, what happens is if you apply for a grant and say to pay your rent and they turn you down for some reason, you have the right to appeal. That means you say, hey, no, but I really need that. And 50% of the people who appeal get the money. See, that's what you have. You don't have that at the bank. You don't have an appeal process. They say, no, you're off. But no, in the government, you appeal that. So a 50% chance. Okay, here's another thing. The IRS, if you owe them money, they have a program they can forgiven 90% of what you owe the IRS. Okay, it's called an offer in compromise. And I have the link there. Call them up, make an appointment on how to do that. Now, your state has the same kind of thing. If you owe your state government money, and taxes, ask them to have, because most of them do. And see, the government, they're nice because they're community oriented. They're not making money for Wall Street. Yeah, that's why the banks won't do that. Nobody else lend you money. We'll forgive them. They'll just sue your ass. But no, the government's different, okay, because they're part of the community. You're part of the government like everybody else. Property taxes can be forgiven too. It's different in every state. And I have a link there. You click on that and find out about the programs where in your state. Now, they also have every state has some kind of programs to forgive your property taxes. So call the people in your state that collect property taxes, ask them about what options are. Okay, here, now co-pays. Get your co-payment and other medical expenses forgiven. There's 2 nonprofit organizations that work with your providers to get them not to charge you for co-pays or medical bills or even medications. And they're the organizations you have to work with. They're all free for that. Okay, you could also, listen to this, 70% of the people who get a hospital bill don't realize they don't have to pay. The hospital gives you bills and you don't have to pay, but they don't tell you don't have to pay. So you're stuck with it and don't know what to do. Here's the website to find out how not to pay for the hospital bills you get. How about your parking tickets, DMV tickets, okay? You may be able to get out of them too. But how do you do that? You go to your contact the office, your DMV, and ask them if they have any programs. And if they don't, you call your elected officials. I mean, see, elected official could get you out of a parking ticket, right? Particularly, and they'll do it if you need it for some cause. Like, oh boy, I can't go to work, I can't take care of my family. So they may be able to do it, but they have the power to do that. So I show you how to find your elected official, call them, cry on their shoulder a little bit, and see what you can do. Also, if you owe the government money like on the SBA for a loan or for a business and stuff like that, they have they have hardship for things, so you don't have to pay if it's a hardship. So you contact your elected official and have them call the SBA. See, I have a typo, CAUA. Okay, that's it. That you have a hardship. And then you could get out of paying that loan or propose it. The government is very flexible in the money you owe them. And if they're not flexible, you call your elected official and they could make them more flexible than they're telling you. Also, $200,000 to buy a home, no interest, and nothing due until you sell your home. See, there's so much of this going on now to help people buy homes. They'll give you up to $200,000, maybe $200,000 for a down payment on a home you can't afford, and they never get the money back as long as you stay there. So that's a nice loan that you don't have to pay back, no interest, no nothing, and as long as you stay there. Okay, then there's another one for people you owe child support. You could get that forgiven. Man, who would ever thought? Yes, there's programs at every state, and I have the link there to how to find out how to get that forgiven for your child support. Get up to 90% of back for. Let's see. Oh, I see. If you own child support too, they'll also help you get a job. So you can pay child support. How about back mortgages? Okay, or rent. So your back rent and mortgages you could get forgiven, or actually paid. They'll pay them for you. And best way to find out is go to findhelp.org. You put in your zip code, and then you put in rent, and you'll see there'll be 50, 60, 70 organizations that help you pay rent. Same way with mortgage. But you have to call them. You have to call them and ask for help. And if they can't help you, then you ask them, hey, where else can I go to solve this problem? See, government and nonprofit organizations are there to work with you to solve your problem. Capitalism, in Google, they're there to just get your goddamn money. And that's what it's about. So remember, there's 40% of our country that loves you and tries to help you. 60% of our country, just needs some money. That's all they want to talk about. So remember, and here I have a listing of how to find 500 nonprofit organizations that will help you fill out applications. Everybody's worried about applications. Don't worry about application. Go to this website and you'll see 500 organizations, nonprofit organizations, that fill out your applications for free. So now watch this thing about student loans. If you have student loans, you got to watch this. Well, if you have a student loan, you didn't have to pay anything on it for a while, but now it's coming due. And actually, the student loan people are going to get mean. This is a new administration, and they're going to get after it. So be careful, because you have rights on all these kinds of things, particularly dealing with the government. You have rights on your side, and a lot of times the people won't tell you what they are. But here's an organization, you have student loans, to contact these people. They're called the Free Student Loan Advice. And it's freestudentloanadvice.org. You call them. Here's what they do. They're the Institute of Student Loan Advisors, has created to ensure that all consumers have access to, listen to this, fair, free student loan advice and dispute resolution, so you can fight these suckers for free. We will never charge consumers for our services and do not require registration for affiliation to utilize our services. So contact this office and see how they could help you if you're worried about paying your student loans. Don't just, and also go to studentaid.gov. Studentaid.gov, find out what it is and see the programs there that you could switch to and not pay all that money. There's legitimate programs, but don't wait to be contacted on the internet. No, you contact them. That's where it is. Anybody contacts you is going to get money from you. So you go to studentaid.gov.